Okay, so I would like to welcome you to yet another training video. And in this training video, we pick up from where we left off in the previous one. And we want now to learn how to populate our lesson plan, but specifically the references section. So the references section appears right underneath the plan header. So the plan header, as we established in the previous training video, is this information which appears on the top. Now the references is the first item right after the plan header. So the question is, how do we add information to that part of the lesson plan? So to do that, we click on the overview button to get back our digital map, and then we click on section 1, and then we tap on references. So once we tap on references, it will take us to the references section. Now this section allows us to add the references to the sources of information that we used when preparing our lesson plan. So we basically have this lightweight editor. You can think of it like that package that is provided by Microsoft, and that is the Word package. So you have your editor here where you can type your text, okay? And then after you type your text there, you then scroll down and then you click on the save button. So when you click on the save button, it will then save the changes. And then just in case you may have erased something accidentally, you can tap on the undo button. So the undo button there will undo any changes. So let's take, for instance, I type some random text there, and then let's say I delete this one. So I can tap on undo, and then that will happen. If I tap on redo, it will bring the information back. So you can use the undo and redo features in the same way that you use them in Microsoft Word. Then on certain devices, the editor may not have enough space because the screen size isn't so good. So on devices where the screen size isn't so good, you can click on the full screen icon, the third one there. So when you click on the full screen icon, it will take the editor, and by editor I'm referring to that space where you type the information, it will make it full screen so that you have enough room to type out your stuff, because over time it will take up a lot of space. So you would want to have a better view. So you can click on the third icon, the full screen icon, and it will make the editor full screen. Also, just in case you want to highlight a certain section, so let's just say some text here, I can highlight a specific portion of the text and then I can make it bold. By making it bold, it becomes a bit darker. And then not only can I make it bold, but I can also make it italic like that. So it will be slant a bit, okay? And then I can go a step further and actually add a list. I can add a list with bullets or a list with numbers. When I click on that part, it will add for me the list. Then I can enter. So this is reference number 1. Okay, so this is reference 1. This is another reference that you may have used when preparing your lesson. And this is another reference that you may also have used when preparing your lesson. So once you add that information, and then you're about to move on to the next section, always remember you have to save your work. If you don't save your work, it will be lost and you will not have access to it later on. So make sure you save your work so that you can edit it later on. So you tap on save there, it will save your work so that when you go back to the overview section and then you tap on preview, we expect the information that we just added there to appear under the references section. So whatever you add on the references part, it will also show on the actual lesson plan once it is done. So that's basically how we can use the references item under section 1. In the next video, in the next training video, we want to see how can we use the teaching and learning aids. How do we populate that part of the lesson plan? Stay tuned.